Father Peter Hocken visited our community some years ago with very few of us knowing who he was or what he said or what he represented. So Father Peter came in to our midst and we asked him to give us a talk. I think it was about ecumenism. Father Peter gave a nice talk, was not very energized. He just very nicely gave a presentation. But at the end of his talk, he said, "I think I have a word of knowledge." And he invited the young people that were in the room to come forward, and he prayed for them, and that they would come under the power of the Holy Spirit. And they did, right there. Many of them were slain in the Spirit, or they began to experience the Holy Spirit. And then he invited the young people to pray for the adults, the room full of adults, and there was probably over 100, maybe 200, between 100 and 200 people in the room at the time. So they began to pray for our community adults, and the community adults came under the power of God. They began to fall and to experience healing, and they began to laugh. Some of them began to weep. It was like God moved into the room with us. So after that event, when Father Hocken came to visit with us, we were all very careful to pay very much attention to everything he said, because the power of God was following him around, and he was really a prophetic voice for us as a community.
Your last meeting with Father Peter was in Rome during the Golden Jubilee celebrations.
Over a period of time, we learned that if we had any difficult pastoral questions or questions that dealt particularly with the Catholic Church on how to appropriately do things, we could ask Father Peter's advice, and he always gave us wonderful, wise counsel. So we would, if anything important would come up, we would very often email him or invite him to come or find him and ask him questions. So after the Jubilee, we spent a couple of hours just talking to him about community issues, and he had a lot of good advice for us.